Okay.
I understand what I'm reading. I can reiterate what I'm reading.
But where are you getting?
I can never write that textbook because the author is the author and I am the student. You understand what I'm saying?
Not really. It's a philosophical tone, but
Well, see, philosophy ties in with religion.
I'm not thinking right now. I'm tired, but I'm trying to think. Go ahead.
I don't know if anyone.
Kim Clement is up.
Well, philosophy is very tied into religion. I know they tried to say philosophy is an entity of its own, but if there was no religion, philosophy would have never been created.
I'm gonna make it 20 thumbs down. There we go.
What is philosophy? What is philosophy?
To know knowledge through. Let's look it up again. To know knowledge, basically. I forgot the. Let's get it right here. Oh, philosophy, literally to the love of wisdom. Philosophy, general term denoting an explanation of the reasons of things. Here, you read it. There's your definition right here. I'll pull it up on this. There it is. It's up on the screen. Philosophy. I want to go to hell forever and burn and bust hell wide open. How's that grab you? Because I'm going there now. See? Because I'm not a Christian. I'm not a disciple. But I'm going believing on the Lord Jesus Christ. So we'll see how it works out. We'll just watch me go when it's time for me to go, and we'll see what happens to me. So I don't give a fuck one way or the other anymore. I'm sick and tired of people judging me out, and we'll just see what happens then. If you want to see what happens to me, we'll see what happens. How's that? I'm not answering to you or anybody else on this work on this planet. I'll answer to God. And I'm ready to do that. So as Billy would say, go fuck yourself. How's that? Everybody tells me what to do, but they never give me anything that's in the scripture to back it up. And they don't like that I get angry lately either. Oh, you're not supposed to get angry. I'll get angry. Fuck it. If I feel like getting angry, I'll get angry. I should throw a little space between these two logs. That way it'll burn better. Now it's going to go up like an inferno. Beautiful. That'll heat the house. I love a nice hot fire. Reminds me of hell. Jeez. People can't handle it. I'm going back to bed.
Hold on a second. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know if you heard me back there. I was by the fireplace, messing around with my fire here, getting it going. Putting some logs on the fire. I'm gonna let that burn out and then take the ashes out later. I'll light another one for the nighttime. I love a fire, man. You like fire? I like fire. Reminds me of hell. Let's call Billy and see what he's doing. Hey, Billy, we're going to hell. Let's call Tim Behrens instead, man. No, fuck it, I don't know. Thank you so much for calling. But if you want to commit suicide, go to www.fullyfreefilms.com and watch the movie Exit. I want to see you here, there, or in the air. God bless you. Click. Jesus, what a fucking mess. You know? I'd rather talk to Hillbilly. Hillbilly makes sense. He believes what he believes. Watch this. You gotta call him twice all the time, you know. Usually. Hillbilly. Hillbilly and I are gonna find some nice girls eventually. Some real good hookers. Hey, Hillbilly. How you feeling today? What's the matter? I had a bad one yesterday too, man. Holy shit. And does it really?
Yeah.
Everybody's giving me a hell on the news unit. They're fighting me and everything. Gary Rich. I've been fighting them fuckers, man. I blocked a lot of them. I told them to fuck off.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah. What do you think of those guys doing that like that?
Fuckers.
Not something?
Yeah.
They're telling me I'm going to hell. I'm not a Christian. So I guess you and I are going to hell together then.
Good.
We'll go to hell, eh?
Yeah.
We're going to beat the shit out of that place too when we get there, aren't we?
Yeah.
You ready for it? You going to split hell wide open with me?
Yep.
Yep.
I want to go back to bed.
All right, go back to bed and call me later.
Yeah.
All right. I wish somebody could actually talk sense to me. You know, that's why I do this. I fucking just talk nonsense because nobody can talk any sense. You know, until somebody starts talking sense to me, you know. I mean, it's really ridiculous, man. Nobody can talk any fucking sense around here. I'm the guy that's got to do it all the time. Right? I'm getting sick and tired of it. I'm too much time. Been around the world. I can't find my baby. What do we got here? All sorts of shit. Oh, I gotta meet them eventually. Jeez, oh man. There's just too much. So there. Wasted too much time, been around the world, and I can't find my baby. I don't know when, I don't know why he's gone away, why she's gone away, and I don't know where she can be, my baby. But I gotta find her, yeah. Alright, I just got up here a little bit. I didn't sleep too much yet here. Jamming around on all sorts of fucking weird projects here. Wasted too much time, been around the world now. My baby.
Alright, I'm back. Alright.
Give me some admonishment here, man. Give me some edification.
Alright, you know what you're against my gears, man. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say. Basically, the study of philosophy, it boils down to the certain ethics. And I know you need to look it up on Google or whatever, like a third grader. But I'm already in high school, you know? I'm just
a fucking kindergartner. That's all I am.
Yeah, because you still got to go look it up and all this stuff, which is fine. Which is fine, don't get me wrong.
Growing in between my legs and all sorts of shit like that.
So hear me out for a second. It's okay, you know. We all had to use a calculator before we could learn simple math. But the point is,
you're so good at math. You tell me what the quadratic equation is. What is it?
I gotta use a calculator for that.
Well, you should at least be able to tell me what the hell the quadratic equation is.
But because I was always the best student in my English and philosophy class,
you know what
I know a lot about that subject.
You know what a polynomial is? Do you know what a polynomial is?
I gotta use my calculator.
Oh, you gotta use your calculator.
Yeah, let me go look it up on Google.
And cotangent and cosecant, as opposed to tangent, secant.
Yeah, do you know what cosine is, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. It's 1 over the tangent. Right? Or wrong? You tell me.
Yeah, and what does pi equal?
You tell me. I'll tell you what pi equals.
Exactly. To the last digit.
I'll tell you. It's 3.141592658.
But keep going, though. It keeps going for a long time, right?
You never have.
There's some guys that memorize the whole thing. Okay, so morning.
Yeah, well, that's one. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'm in fucking college compared to your high school.
But my point was, okay, I'm just in a different grade than you. You know what I mean? I'm in grade 7, going into grade 8. You're still in grade 3. You know what I mean? But it's okay. I used to look it up too. But since I've progressed so much, I understand that the basic study of philosophy, it boils down to the study of ethics. And the study of ethics is the study between right and wrong, good and bad, right? And where does that come from? Where does the study of good and bad, good and evil, two forces fighting come from originally? Yeah, you guessed it. It comes from the Bible. So we are all students. Okay? We are the students of the teachings of the Word. But the difference is we live in the New Testament now. So we gotta live the Word. Okay? Before they were just preaching the Word. Okay? And they were just learning. But now we've progressed. We're in high school now. We're in a different grade. We're in first year university. You know what I mean? We're in frost week right now. Oh, wow. Okay, now I gotta get out there. Okay, the teacher is no longer hand feeding me.
All right, now I gotta prove you wrong. Let me show you.
Now we gotta live the Word. In Jesus' name. Amen. That's the difference.
So I gotta teach you now.
Oh, you can't teach me because the only teacher, like I said, is the Lord. That's it. It's just Him.
Okay.
Now He had apostles, He had other students. He had a group of 12 students with Him, but He was the professor.
All right. Go read Hebrews chapter 5, verse number 12.
All right, read it out. It's
You read it.
it's slide
You read it to me. It's on the screen. It's right here. Read this here.
Let me see. Chapter 5, verse 10.
12.
For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye need that one teach you again, which be in the first principles of the oracles of God, and are become such as have need of milk
and not of strong meat.
Keep reading all the way to the end.
For everyone that used milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a baby. But strong meat belongeth to them that are full of age, of full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
Let's talk about those
Okay.
last 3 verses. What do you got there?
Last 3 verses. But strong meat belongeth to them that are full of age. Okay. So you gotta become wise. You gotta grow up. Even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil, which is basically what I was doing. Okay. And the first part of that, it says, Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12, for when for the time ye ought to be teachers. For when? Okay, you have to read the word, David. For when? Okay, so it's not now, it's when it comes.
When does that happen?
You're still a student, David. Read the word.
Hey, I'm glad you told me.
Okay.
I'm learning.
Now, don't take my word for it. It says right there that we're still learning. And there's different levels of faith. When you reach ultimate enlightenment is when you're one with God. Then you can teach. But for now, you're still learning. Am I wrong or am I wrong?
Don't ask me. You're the one teaching me.
Or am I right or am I right? Right?
Are you asking me? How do I know? I'm not a teacher. According to you.
No, I'm just the guy in
I don't know anything, man.
I'm just the guy in first year
I know nothing.
university telling the guy in high school, oh, it's so much different, man. You don't understand.
I
You're
don't
not
know
even
nothing.
prepared. You're not even ready for it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know anything.
Neither do I. Neither do I. I'm just like I said, I'm a higher grade. Okay? It's a school and I'm in grade 7 and you're still in grade 3 or something.
Hey, that's the way it goes. Sometime you know a 51-year-old guy in 3rd grade, and there's a 20. How old are you?
Yeah, and it's not only about age, it also says if you keep reading in the passage,
That's why I got
right?
you out here, so you could give me some instruction.
So we're all students.
That's right. Well, student to student. There you go.
And those guys preaching and stuff, a lot of them, they don't know what they're talking about. And it says that. It also says that in the book. Beware of false teachers.
Right. How do you spot them if you don't know what they're if you don't know anything? You're just a student.
You gotta read the word. You gotta beware. You gotta be vigilant.
I didn't know that.
You gotta be
I
vigilant.
found that out today.
Because there's wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yeah. That was, yeah, I didn't know that until now.
That's exactly what happens when you get screwed over in life.
Well,
Like, oh shit, I should have been more aware. I didn't know that till now. And then by then it's too late. But you learn. You learn to take lesson.
too much time. Wasted too much time. Now I'm just a third grade student. I don't know nothing. I don't know, no, I don't know, no. Where my Jesus is, and I don't know until Gary Rich tells me what about. I gotta study Buddha and the Quran and shamans and shit. According to Gary Rich, I'm too fucking closed-minded, man. And plus, I'm not ordained. He told me the same thing. He's probably right. I'm not ordained, to be teaching the Bible. I shouldn't even be talking about it. I don't know shit. I can't find my way. I don't know where Jesus is. Maybe he's in that church today. I don't know where he was yesterday. My Jesus, maybe he's my Jesus, my plastic Jesus, on the dashboard of my car. I think my Jesus is on the dashboard. What do you think? I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as I got my plastic Jesus sitting on the dashboard of my car. That's right. Come on in here, big tough guy Thomas Stanley. My, would I like to have you in here. Give me some schooling. I'm just a third grader. Teach me some of your philosophy. Philosophia. Give me some philosophy and some vain deceit after the root of What a joke that is. The Westminster Confession. Alright, we'll turn them off. That's just too damn hot. Been around the world and I can't find my baby. I don't know where, I don't know why. Why she's gone away and I don't know where she can be. But I'm gonna find her. I can't find my baby. I don't know when, I don't know what. Why he's gone away, I don't know. He can be my baby, but I'm gonna find her someday, some way. Wasted too much time. Now I'm here and dying, crying. Been around the world and I can't find my baby. I don't know when, I don't know where. Why he's gone away and I don't know where he can be. Oh, I gotta adjudicate myself. Gary said I'm crazy. Call the fucking cops, man. All these nuts on here talking about killing themselves. I'll tell you who's crazy. You all are. Fucking nuts, man. If the news unit goes off for 72 hours, you guys lose your minds. I'm wasting too much time. Look at him, he's cracking up, man. I'm cracking up. I am cracking up. All you normal people, just watch me crack up. I am going crazy. I am losing it. 'Cause you said so, so it must be true. I don't know nothing. Where's new me? Did he leave us? Hey, it's the maestro. It's Doubting Thomas. What's up there, Mr. Doubting Thomas, the PCA America? Mr. Conservative? How are you? How are you, my brother?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Dave, what's going on? What are you doing?
You tell me. You tell me. You're the expert.
No, I'm not going to play that game.
Oh, I'm not gonna play the game. I'll tell you why. Because you've been playing games for a long time with tacos and all these other fuckheads that you don't even know in real life. You probably haven't even talked on the phone with a decent conversation with them and figure out who they are. So you tell me what's going on.
I've had those kind of conversations with you, but you don't act. You don't act like a personal friend. So what's the difference? Who are your friends? Tell me who your friends are. I don't think you even know who your friends are.
I'll tell you what. I'm not.
Who are you?
I don't care if I didn't have any, because friendship with this world is enmity with God. How's that grab you?
Listen.
Am I required to have friends according to the scripture?
Listen. This is going to be the shortest conversation we ever have. If you're just going to be combative. If you're going to be combative, sure. Because I'm not.
Oh, really?
I'm not in the mood to have a combative conversation.
Well, I am so sorry that you're so sensitive.
No, it has nothing to do with sensitivity. It has everything to do with time.
Yes, it does.
I don't have time. I don't have time to talk to 4 people like you do all day long, Dave.
Is that right?
No, I don't. It's true. I don't. So I'd like to talk.
Why don't you call the goddamn sheriff's department in Columbia County and have them come and haul me away?
Dude, what are you talking about?
Because you assholes have been telling behind the scenes how nuts I am and how mentally ill. You all got me diagnosed. You're fucking nuts.
Good. You know what? Let me address that real quick.
Yeah, address it. Go ahead.
You have created for 7 years a dialogue with other human beings, and you've created an audience. Some have come, some have gone. I've only been around for a year.
So what?
Well, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Name one of these guys whom you have a personal relationship with that you have cultivated, rather than these clowns that you continue to talk about. Name one person you've had an impact upon, whether it was an impact for the kingdom or whether it was just a personal impact. Name one person. I named one for you. I named one for you the other night, having a conversation offline, and it's probably Chiggers. He's probably the only one I know of that has actually met you, hugged you, shook your hand. Am I right about this or not?
Chiggers is the only one that has physically met me, yes.
Good, okay, good. So, I don't really know you. All I can know is your fruits.
By your fruits you shall know them, huh?
That's all I should, that's the only way I can know you, Pop.
By my fruit, what am I?
You're an angry person, Dave. You're really angry.
What's wrong with anger?
How are you directing that anger, Dave?
You tell me, you seem to know.
Alright. I'm not gonna play a game with you. I'm not. You can think that I'm playing games, but I've been actually one of the more honest people for the past year.
I don't mind that. I like honesty.
No, you do mind it.
Oh no.
You do mind it.
Even if you're wrong, I don't mind.
So then what's the problem then?
If you're a YouTuber, you're probably using...
Is this what you want?
What is the problem?
What? No, I'm just saying, is this what you want?
What is the problem? I mean, why is there a problem anyway? I mean, the problem seems to lie when I go off the air and then people thread all day long for 3 days, drive me crazy with the phone ringing. I just muted it finally and knocked people up because it's just too much. And then all these threads, did you see what was said? I mean, I saw that shit. I mean, it was unfucking believable. So I go off the air and all of a sudden I'm crazy, I'm nuts. I shouldn't be talking about Jesus. I should be seeking Buddha and the Quran. And you're telling me you're with them telling them you agree that I'm mentally ill?
I think something's going on, Dave. I do think something's going on, yes.
Really? What do you think's going on? What do you think's going on?
You're okay with me talking about this on the...
Say it loud and clear. Yeah.
I think you're pissed off at everybody, and frankly, I think you're pissed off at God.
And why is that? You have a reason?
Yeah, I think things have not gone your way. I think you're an idealist. I'm an idealist. Very difficult being an idealist in this world. I can't stand, for instance, our culture. I can't stand it.
Okay.
I think you're probably very similar, so I think I actually understand you to a large degree. I'm a Midwestern kind of guy. We have a certain kind of mentality in the Midwest that I'd say the remainder of the country doesn't. I'd say we're both from the Bible Belt. And I won't touch that any further. I'll just say I think we're from that region where some scriptural teachings penetrated our youth, even in the public schools.
I have 1,000-word
We
essay
grew
due
up in
tomorrow
a
that I
different
haven't
era.
You know why I'm not panicking? Because I have essay.
But
By automating the writing process,
I don't
essay
understand
outputs
what
guys
you're
finish
doing.
essay
What's
in
the
minutes. Their
purpose
smart
of
editor
doing
searches
this
millions of websites
YouTube
for relevant
thing?
content to your topic.
One
Paraphrasing
video a
that content
day
without
or
any worries
2
about
videos a day.
plagiarism.
I
All while citing
even
the source.
said it was dumb, and I even dropped it. Now, I'm not trying to compare you to me, because that's not what this is about. I actually let me finish one last sentence. I have genuine concern for you. But here's the thing. At some point, what will a human being listen to? What will penetrate a human being's psyche and heart? I don't know, because I don't really know you, Dave. But I think you've got an issue, and I think I would strongly recommend you actually address it, Dave.
Well, I'm gay, and I never told you that.
Okay, I don't want you fucking around with me. Seriously. So stop the bullshit. I wasn't.
mental disorder.
Stop.
And,
I wasn't bullshitting with you. So come on.
No, that's what you want. You want me to be that way. So I'll be what you want.
What?
You want me to be gay. You want me to be a mental health fucking nut. You want me to be something like that. You want a problem. You want to ratify.
I'd like to see my brother in Christ be consistent. That's
So
what
you want me to address and create a problem when there really isn't one with me. And then everybody will say, oh, look at him. He never admits that he has a problem.
Name a group of people agree with you that last sentence you just stated.
I don't give a fuck about these guys that don't believe on Christ. Not one of them has any inkling in what the hell's going on in my head. I'm a renewed mind in Christ. I know where I stand in the scripture and where the scriptures stand on things. And I'm not gonna fucking bend on that no matter what you say or they say or anyone else says. I will fucking die at the stake.
Everyday female
and I give a fuck
hidden away.
What happens
we
to
must
me.
do it now. Fight for equality and level the field to ensure that
Is
no
that
matter the challenge
clear?
ahead, she breaks
That's pretty sad, Dave, that you don't appreciate your own humanity to say things like that. That's really sad. I feel bad. Honestly, I feel bad for you. Too bad for me to feel bad for you? What does that mean? Why don't you make me understand, Dave? Why don't you compel me? Why not?
That's why.
That's a bash on me, right? Because I'm PCA, right?
I'm only telling you the truth. I don't know how else to tell it to you.
All I know is when I gave up YouTube was extremely freeing, and I think it would free you as well. I don't
think that it would free me. If I want to do YouTube, if PewDiePie wants to do YouTube, if J-Snip4, Bitcoin Ben, the World Crypto Network, and thousands of other channels want to do YouTube, what the hell do you care?
So who are you fighting? Why are you fighting? Why are you fighting everybody? Who cares?
Pressing the idiots' comments, and then you tell me I'm fighting. I just addressed their comments.
Dave, you got 5 people. Get real. You have 5 people watching.
I don't care. You wanted numbers. I don't care about numbers.
And I know you don't care, but that's the whole point. Who are you fighting? You're fighting yourself. You're bringing everyone into it. And then you have real, authentic human beings You have real human beings, Dave, that you could influence. But instead, you're repelling them.
No.
Yes!
Bullshit theology horseshit where I gotta create something that they're attracted to. The Word of God is not attracted to that. It's attractive to anybody.
But Dave, you're not always speaking, and you're certainly not acting upon the Word of God. So how is that attractive?
Whoa! You seem to think it's cute when Billy gets on her. You like Billy and all that shit?
I do like Billy.
Game?
I do like Billy, and I'll tell you
fuck
exactly.
yourself and all that, and suck cock and all that shit.
No, I don't. No, those are things I do not appreciate. I appreciate Billy's humanity and the real potential that he and Christ might meet. How about you?
Sometimes I feel like I'm Moses that came down out of that mountain and they're all working on the calf, so I'm going to give them what they want. Straw it out, let them drink it. How's that grab you? And I'm meek about it.
And how you
meek?
And is that productive for you, Dave? Is this meeting an objective of yours?
Let's just wait until God handles this and I stand before him and answer for it. And we'll see who stands. How's that, Greg?
Why is this competition? I'm not competing against you.
I'm just telling you, the judge of all will judge me. Okay?
So you're going to be doing this. You're going to be doing. You're going to be doing this.
I'm going to stand before you're not my master. Okay?
Dave, see, again, this is clearly indicating some kind of psychosis. Seriously.
No, it's not, because I know the scripture.
This is not a competition.
It's not a. See, you're a philosopher and a vain deceiver.
Dave.
This is not a psychosis.
Cut the bullshit.
This is a clear understanding of God's precepts and applying them to everyday life and your stupid comments.
Cut the bullshit, man. We're both
cutting bullshit.
No, you're not.
Right down to the serious shit.
Well, I'm gonna get there in a minute. We're both complicated human beings because human beings are complicated.
Oh, whatever.
We're trying to understand, for most people, what is not understandable by most people.
And this.
So,
you should start using this.
Just cut the crap. You're angry.
I'm not angry. I am dealing with the shit going on here. And ever more people are telling me, you know, they don't want to listen to the Bible. Well, then go somewhere else. Flip the fucking channel.
You don't talk about the Bible 8 hours straight, dude.
I'm always mentioning it somewhere in here.
Okay. I don't think that's why people are upset with you, by the way. You think they are, but that's not why they're upset.
Yeah, they are. And then they claim that I'm holier than thou because of it. And this and that.
Some do, but I don't think all of them do. Why do you think they're upset at you?
Yeah, that's their business.
How about this? Why do you think I'm up? Why do you
when they start telling me here, I think it's interesting when people start telling me what to do.
Okay, fine.
How to do it.
Alright.
And I don't go around and I don't even tell Jason for what to do and how to do it.
Okay, but who cares about these people? I'd rather talk about you.
Why do
I'd
I
rather
get told what to do so much? Why do I get told all this shit? Why don't you go tell some of these motherfuckers that?
Because Dave,
You know why? Because they won't even listen to you. That's why. They'll block you. They blocked you a long time ago.
Yes,
They
but
want nothing to do with it.
yeah, Dave, your channel is a manifestation of your own creation.
Maybe I should just block everybody and start over with a new group of people. How's that good?
We talked about this a long time ago.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, you and I did.
Which I titled. Well,
Title.
2.0. I mean, really. No, I'm not changing this. This is going to stay just the way it is, whether anybody likes it or not. Okay? And the shit that goes on here, however it went down, it's just everyday life. It's just the way it is. And if people can't handle that, Christian, atheist, whatever you are, that's your problem. All right? And I'm not afraid to address hard-hitting fucking stupid comments that come my way a mile long in these threads. You take an issue with it. Why not?
Let me ask you this. Is there one person in your life? I don't mean this whole online life. Is there one person in your life that you go to for counsel?
No. Well, wait a minute. I take that back. Yes. But
Okay.
it's somebody I haven't met in person, actually, either. But I met his son in person.
Okay.
But there is, yeah, there is one. There is one, and you've heard him on here before too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is there one for only one for a reason?
Well,
I'm just curious. I'm not accused.
is that not normal? I know where you're going. It's not normal to have just one. It's more normal to have 2 or 3 or 4, you know, whatever. But guess what?
What?
You know, you can't hardly reason with people. People are so dumb that, you know, I even told this pastor about Billy that he doesn't read, and what does he do? He keeps handing them pamphlets over and over again.
Okay, that's dumb.
Read this. How dumb can you fucking be?
I agree.
I got no patience for that shit. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna
but Dave, be honest. You don't have patience for a whole lot.
That's right, because I'm an air traffic controller, and I didn't have time for patience.
Okay. All right.
That's right. So you are seeing something that you don't normally see. How many air traffic controllers do you know that worked in the big leagues? None.
Okay.
So you don't. Now you got a little feel for what we are made of.
Okay.
And not too many of us stand out and talk out loud on YouTube that are believers on the Lord Jesus Christ.
Are you the only one?
No, I got a buddy of mine in Chicago that's one.
Oh, he's on YouTube and he...
No, he's not on YouTube.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I talked to him too, actually. That's number 2. I do have a second contact.
Okay.
Imagine that. Got more than one.
So what's your criteria for those kind of contacts?
My criteria?
Yeah, what's your criteria for you know, calling someone personally to counsel with?
Well, first of all, they're in Christ. That's the number 1 criteria.
How do you know that?
How do I know
they're? How do you know that?
Because I know them personally, and I know their testimony, and I know their handling of the Word of God.
Who you talking about? Afro, Rice Gum, he got a clone too. He living with his clone. This nigga weird. He weird as fuck.
Yeah, I'm a third gen though. Both my first and second gen was fucking.
My first gen was fucking shit. Get up, bro, doing crazy shit. All kind of crazy shit.
You got a toxic first gen.
My first gen is toxic, bro.
This shit crazy. They don't really understand. Like, clonate is really fucking people up.
What's funny is that
they don't
a lot
notice
of
you gotta go through on it.
They're not even aware. A lot of these people aren't even aware of this shit.
We don't bleed real good. It's like a crossbreed. It's like a crossbreed of blood, or like some type of liquid. I bet you we the only souls on earth that can bleed red and blue.
my blood is red, blue, and then sometimes green. Afro, Rice Gum, he got a clone too. But he living with his clone. This nigga weird. He weird as fuck.
Yeah, I'm a third gen though. Both my first and second gen was fucking up.
My first gen was fucking shit up, bro, doing crazy shit. All kind of crazy shit. You
You
know
got
what
a
I'm saying?
toxic first gen.
My first gen is toxic, bro.
That shit crazy. They don't really understand like clonate is really fucking people up.
What's funny is that
They don't
a
know
lot
this
of
shit we
people,
gotta go through on a day.
they not even aware. A lot of these people aren't even aware of this shit.
We don't bleed
Fucking
real
magic.
blood. It's like a
We don't-
crossbreed. It's like
we
a
don't
crossbreed of blood and like some type of like liquor. I bet you we the only souls on earth that can bleed red and blue.
my blood is red, blue, and then sometimes green.
He says,
Hey boy, you should have when you had them clone you though, you should have made them clone you with a fucking a prettier face though, ugly ass.
Who you talking about?
Afro, right? Gum, he got a clone too. But he living with his clone. This nigga weird. He weird as fuck.
Yeah, I'm a third gen though. Both my first and second gen was fucking up.
My first gen was fucking shit up, bro, doing crazy shit. All kind of crazy shit. You know
You
what
got
I'm
a
saying?
toxic first gen.
My first gen is toxic, bro.
That shit crazy. They don't really understand like clonate is really fucking people up.
What's funny is that
They don't
a
know
lot
this
of
shit we
people,
gotta go through on a day.
they not even aware. A lot of these people aren't even aware of this shit.
We don't bleed
Fucking
real
magic.
blood. It's like a
We don't-
crossbreed. It's like
we
a
don't
crossbreed of blood and like some type of like liquor. I bet you we the only souls on earth that can bleed red and blue.
my blood is red, blue, and then sometimes green.
He says,
Hey boy, you should have when you had them clone you though, you should have made them clone you with a fucking a prettier face though, ugly ass.
Nah, look, see, my first gen was cute as fuck. It was crazy. Yeah.
But we may
Second
not,
gen, he was mega
we
cute.
may not have an agreement today. We probably won't. But we have an agreement on other things that are really good. Nancy, would you like to say something?
Thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to meet with you so that we can work together in a bipartisan way to meet the needs of the American people. I think the American people recognize that we must keep government open, that a shutdown is not worth anything, and that we should not have a Trump shutdown. You have the White House, the Trump shutdown. You have the White House, you have the Senate, you have the House of Representatives, you have the vote. You should pass it.
No, we don't have the vote because in the Senate we need 60
No,
votes.
but in the House,
And we don't
you
have.
could bring it up right now.
Yeah, but I can't, excuse me, but I can't get it passed in the House if it's not going to pass in the Senate. I don't want to waste.
Well, the fact is you can get it started that way.
The House we can get passed very easily.
Okay,
And we
thank
do.
you.
But the problem is the Senate, because we need 10 Democrats to vote, and
That's
they
not
won't
the
vote.
point, Mr. President. The point is that there are equities to be weighed, and we're here to have a conversation in a prayerful way. So I don't think we should have a debate in front of the press on this. But the fact is, the House Republicans could bring up this bill if they had the votes immediately and set the tone for what we want.
We thought we were going to get it passed in the Senate, Nancy. We would do it immediately. We'd get it passed very easily in the House. We would get it, Nancy, I'd have it passed in 2 seconds. It doesn't matter, though, because we can't get it passed in the Senate because we need 10 Democrat votes. That's it.
Again, let us have our conversation, never to leave it to press again. But the fact is that legislating, which is what we do, we begin to make your point to say, okay, that's what the House Republicans do. If they have votes, if there are no votes in the House, majority votes, voting one, no matter what.
Exactly right. No. If I needed the votes for the wall in the House, I would have them in one session. It would be done. It doesn't help because we need 10 Democrats in the Senate.
In the public.
You just say my way or you were called 20 times. But we caught 10 terrorists. These are people that were looking to do harm. We need the wall. We need more of one than anything. We need border security, of which the wall is just a piece. But it's important. Chuck, do you want to say something?
Here's what I want to say. We have a lot of disagreements here. The Washington Post today gave you a whole lot of Pinocchios because they say you constantly misstate how much the wall is built, how much of the wall is built, and how much is there. But that's not the point here. We have a disagreement about the wall, whether it's effective or not. Not on border security, but on the wall. We do not want to shut down the government. You were called 20 times to shut down the government. You say, I want to shut down the government. We don't. We want to come to an agreement. If we can't come to an agreement, we have solutions that will pass the House and Senate right now and will not shut down the government, and that's what we're urging you to do. Not threaten to shut down the government because let me just finish, because you can't get your way. Yeah, let me say something, Mr. President. You just say my way or we'll shut down the government. We have a proposal that Democrats and Republicans will support. Do a CR that will not shut down the government. We urge you to take it.
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
It is very good border
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
It's what
Because when you look at these numbers of the effectiveness of our border security, and when you look at the job that we're doing
You
with
just
our
said it is
military,
effective.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, you just said
Without
it's
a
effective.
wall, these are only areas where you have the walls.
We want to do
Where
this.
you have walls, Chuck, it's effective. Where you don't have walls, it is not effective.
Yeah.
Article 1, the legislative branch. We're coming in good faith to negotiate with you about how we can keep the government
Open.
We're
We're going to keep it open if we have border security. If we don't have border security, Chuck, we're not going to keep it open.
Let me.
We are not going to have borders.
And it's the same.
Received seed in the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Unit this morning, just waking up, just hitting.
Used when
So
people or groups fail to self-censor in response to a threat of crippling stigma and the destruction of their capacity to earn. These tools are being used to unhook the values that bind us together as a nation: equal protection under the law, the presumption of innocence, a free marketplace of ideas, the concept that people should be judged by the content of their character rather than the color of their skin. Yes, even that core tenet of the civil rights movement is being dismantled. Am I alleging a conspiracy? No. What I have seen functions much more like a cult, in which the purpose is only understood by the leaders and the rest have been seduced into a carefully architected fiction. Most of the people involved in this movement earnestly believe that they are acting nobly to end oppression. Only the leaders understand that the true goal is to turn the tables of oppression. Something is seriously and dangerously.
go ahead. Yeah, hit it.
I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna say this publicly, but Ricky Hodler needs to be banned from your channel.
Okay. I will do it. I'm not watching that. I never do.
Well, you better look at it and you better make a statement publicly, because the kind of crap that I'm reading him say is not the kind of crap you want to be associated with.
All right, let's take a look at it. I'm gonna take a serious look at this, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and then it's a very heathenish shit, man.
I'm sorry, Ricky, but you know, it's one thing to talk about pussy and dick and all this kind of stuff, but the kind of crap you're writing now, that's the kind of shit you get friends in trouble for.
I pulled the 12-gauge out and let out 20 rounds and watched the pellets killing my associates. My boss is going to get it now and find out what postal it is. Oh, really? Yeah, you're done, Ricky. You're done. And this is, I'll tell you what, Ricky, since you live in Herndon, Virginia,
lately I felt disruptive and I think it's mailman time. It seems like there's no way out. I pulled a 12 gauge out and shot off 28 rounds and watched the pellets spreading out, killing my associates. My boss is gonna get it now and find out what postal time. It seems like there's no way out. I pulled a 12 gauge out and shot off 28 rounds and watched the pellets spreading out, killing my associates. My boss is gonna get it now and find out what postal is.
the FBI is watching this channel. I can promise you that. All I gotta do is make one phone call to the guys that work in Manassas that know me, and they'll find you.
By his team functions much more like a cult, in which the purpose is only understood by the leaders, and the rest have been seduced into a carefully architected fiction. Most of the people involved in this movement earnestly believe that they are acting nobly to end oppression. Only the leaders understand that the true goal is to turn the tables of oppression. Something is
go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, hit it.
I'm gonna say this publicly, but Ricky Hodler needs to be banned from your channel.
Okay. I will do it. I'm not watching that. I never do.
Well, you better look at it and you better make it publicly. Who wants to see me dress kind of crap that I read him say is not the kind of crap you want to be.
All right, let's take a look at it. I'm gonna leave.
Functions much more like a cult, in which the seduced.
Howard Stern all morning, Don and Mike all afternoon, and G. Gordon Liddy midday. WJFK.
Day before at 5:31 with Don and Mike, and I believe the fourth day of Chanukah. For all of our Jewish friends, cloudy, windy tonight. Low 30, sunny, windy tomorrow, 38, and Christmas Day, sunny with a high in the 30s. WJFK top 49. Here's Sherry Licker, then we're going to read the story.
Don and Mike, delays continue on the GW Parkway on the southbound side between the 14th Street Bridge and National Airport. Now, the earlier accident has been cleared. All lanes are open, but expect delays getting down from Memorial Bridge. Southbound 395, I-95, delays through Shirlington and Landmark and from Etzel Road down into Woodbridge. Along the way, disabled vehicles, second lane from the left before you get to Route 1. Outer loop delays begin between Braddock Road and I-95 on the ramps to get you to Springfield, then again at Telegraph Road to get you to the Wilson Bridge. And northbound Van Dorn Street before Franconia Road, there's an accident to look out for. I'm Sherry Licker, Metro Traffic Control for WJFK.
Thank you, Sherry. Get out of here. I want the hippopotamus for Christmas. Don't leave yet, Sherry. Hello, Mo. Don't leave quite yet, Sherry. I'm going to open the door now. I want both of them to come in, and unless they can both behave themselves, I'm going to have to ask one of them to leave.
We want Sherry in here to separate them if they get...
I don't want it.
Charlie?
I hate you now. I hate Charlie. Charlie is mean and dumb. John, I don't want Charlie to be I don't want him either. We said you...
Ruby Kelly.
You said that you were going to behave yourself if you came to the radio station, Charlie. I said I hate you. That's all I said. I hate you. Charlie. Get off. You don't understand.
Hold
Get
on.
off.
Hold on.
No.
Hold on. Get off? Is that what you said?
Yes.
I was on her.
Oh, you were on
I
her.
was on her. I was grabbing her.
Oh, I got
That's
it.
why she said, get off, Don.
Yeah, Don, didn't you see it?
Charlene, would you like to hear the Hamburger James story? Could you
I
be?
love hamburgers more than pizza.
Can you behave yourself enough
All
to
right.
sit while we're reading
Yeah,
this?
I'll be quiet.
All right.
All right, tell you what,
be
though.
quiet, though, because this is my favorite story. And every single year, Don tells me this. Don tells me this story.
At the first sign of trouble, I'm going to have to clear the room. One of you's going to have to leave, okay?
I'm not going to leave, Don.
I'm
That's
not
my story.
leaving.
I'm not going to leave.
leaving. I'm not.
Don, that's my story.
My story now.
No, it's not your
You're
story
stupid.
now.
It's my
No,
story.
you're
You're
stupid,
stupid.
You're stupid,
You
Charlie.
All right, listen. I want both of you to leave.
No.
Both of you out now.
No, Don, I don't want to leave right now.
Now, work it out there. And then when the door opens again, I only want one of you. I don't care which one of you it is. I just want one of you.
All right, are they learning it?
Hi.
Where's your sister?
She's fine.
Where's she at?
She's fine.
Where's she at, Shirley?
She's fine, Don. She's fine. She won't be bothering us anymore.
You didn't do anything mean to your sister, did you, Charlie? You didn't do anything like you did to her last year, did you, Charlie? Charlie, you know how you get sometimes.
Not really. She was being very bad. She was being very bad, and I did what I had to do. I did what I had to do.
Is Charlene...
She won't be bothering us anymore.
Is Charlene going to be okay?
She's going to be fine in a little while.
In a little while?
She's going to be fine in a little while. I just did what I had to do, Don. That's all I did. I did what I had to do because she was being very bad, and so I did what I had to do when Charlene gets bad sometimes.
Now, Charlie, out of the 3 children in your family, yourself and Matthew and Charlene...
Yes?
You got all the brains, didn't you?
That's right, Don. I did. I'm the smartest one in the whole family. Charlene's not as smart as me, and Matthew's way not as smart as me. Matthew's really not smart at all. But Charlene sometimes gets really loud, and she gets very, very mean, and so sometimes I have to be the father figure. I have to be the father figure for the family. And so that's what I did with Charlene. So she won't be bothering us for a while.
You ready for the story now, Charlie?
I sure am. Can I put up the chair now?
Put up the chair.
All right.
Now, Charlie, this year, I'm going to give you the extra long version.
Oh, good. This is my favorite story. This is my favorite story in the whole wide world.
Now, keep in mind, boys and girls, and I'm talking now not only to Charlie, but all the boys and girls, all the big ones and little ones listening right now.
Yes.
Hi, boys and girls.
Hi, Don. Hi,
Now.
Don. Hi, Don. Hi, Mr. Geronimo.
I like that grown-up voice, Charlie. Now, the story is Remembering the King.
Yes, this is all about Elvis and Hamburger James.
It's important to remember that this story was originally published in People magazine.
I love this story.
This story was written by Rick Stanley, who was Elvis's stepbrother.
I love this story. I love this story.
One afternoon, my mom pulls up in a beautiful Continental with a guy who's a perfect stranger to me.
Mm-hmm.
I come out of the boarding school, and my mom's sitting in the front seat with the guy whom she introduces as our new daddy, Vernon.
Vernon Presley.
And the 3 of us are ushered into the back seat.
That was Vernon.
Well, as we leave from the school and drive to the mansion to Graceland, all of a sudden, here's this big, beautiful house.
That's where Elvis lives.
The first thing I noticed is these bodyguards.
Mm-hmm.
Guys walking around with big guns under their arms.
That's the Memphis Mafia. Those are Elvis's friends.
Inside, I walked down a mirrored hallway,
Mm-hmm.
down these steps, and I found it amazing that these big gold records were everywhere.
Those are Elvis's records because Elvis had a lot of gold records, Don.
Elvis was standing over by the record player listening to records. He walks across the room, and I knew the first time I met this guy, he's different.
That's right, he's special.
The next morning, I went outside, and there Elvis was.
Yeah.
But there were cats, dogs, ponies, scooters, bicycles, tricycles, swing sets, 3 of everything.
That's right, Elvis has a lot of animals and a lot of friends.
Like Michael Jackson. You like Michael Jackson, don't you,
Oh, I
Charlie?
love Michael Jackson. He's the king of pop.
I felt very much at home when I was at Graceland.
Mm-hmm.
We lived with Vernon in a house next door.
Vernon's Elvis's father.
And when Elvis was home, I would go over and see him. Elvis loved to throw the football.
He sure did. He loved football. He loved games.
I'd go out on pass patterns, and we'd do that for hours and hours in the backyard.
Yeah, Elvis was very good.
One evening, he decided he wanted me to mend fences.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we went out with a hammer and nails, and I helped him. We put about 10 nails in one board.
Elvis would work in the house.
Just like a kid.
Yeah, he's a kid.
When I was 17 and I was getting into drugs, Elvis figured he could help straighten me out.
Yeah.
He wanted to go to work with me, and he wanted me to be his personal aide.
Right.
But I knew I'd have a difficult time convincing my mom to let me go on the road.
Let him go, Mom. Let him go.
So he told me that I would have a private tutor.
All right.
I would be in church all morning, all these different things.
That's because Elvis could take care of business.
My first trip with Elvis was to Washington, D.C.
In a flash.
We were sitting on the plane. He's on the aisle, and I'm right beside him.
Elvis used to like to sit on the aisle.
Elvis just looks at me, and he goes, I'm the teacher, with that big grin on his face.
Elvis is the tutor.
I'm going to teach you everything you need to know.
That's right, he's smart.
And by the way, what you're seeing here on the road, you don't say nothing about it to your mama, okay?
That's right, Elvis had a lot of secrets on the road.
We got to the hotel. We were there 5 minutes, and all these girls were there.
Elvis liked girls.
All these guys have got these girls waiting.
Elvis liked girls.
None of the wives were ever allowed to go on the road with us.
Oh, no.
And that was one of the reasons why. Elvis looks at me and says, there are 2 girls I've dated that are going to be here, Joyce and Janice.
Yeah.
Elvis is a married man, and he's got not only 1 girl.
He's got 2.
He's got 2 girls.
2 girls. Elvis liked girls.
That was the night Elvis initiated me into what was called the Memphis Mafia. Elvis called me at 3 or 4 in the morning and asked me to find a cheeseburger in downtown Washington.
Yeah, don't get the creepy crud.
It was December of 1970, freezing Washington weather.
Very cold.
When Elvis said he wanted cheeseburgers, I said, where do I get them? And he said, that's your responsibility, man. Find out.
Yeah.
I called the bellman, and the bellman didn't know.
If Elvis wants cheeseburgers, you better get them for him pronto.
So I literally got out in the streets of D.C. to find a place. I put the cheeseburgers inside my coat. I ran all the way back to the hotel, got upstairs. I went in the room, and one of the girls was in there.
Yeah.
I pulled the hamburgers out and handed them to Elvis.
Cheeseburgers.
He said, hey, I don't want those, man. I was just checking you out to see if you could do it.
All right.
Eventually, I took care of Elvis when we were traveling. I did everything. I made sure all the meals were taken care of. I took care of his wardrobe and jewelry. And I taped the windows so the sun couldn't get in.
He was very helpful for Elvis. Elvis hated the sun. Elvis hated the sun to come in the windows.
I set up the room and carried the kit that contained Elvis's medication.
Here comes the kid. The kid. This is the big part.
When Elvis would come off stage, it was my responsibility to get a towel around his neck, a glass of water in his hand, and a coat on his back.
He had a very sweaty neck when he'd come off stage.
Then I had to get him in a car and make sure those vents were blowing on him.
Kids in the car. Kids in the car.
Usually in the car, it was mostly just me and him in the back seat with someone driving us.
And the drugs and the kid.
Hold on, Charlie. There's more about the girls.
I know. I'm excited.
There's more about the girls first. Girls were always available.
Yeah, he liked girls. Elvis liked those girls.
Always available.
TCB, baby.
It was just a matter of picking which girls he wanted.
Pick them. He could pick them.
And Elvis wanted a different girl every night.
Pick a winner,
Elvis had to have a girl in bed with him every night.
That's right.
I don't even think sex was involved lots of the time.
No.
Elvis hated to be alone.
He did.
If there wasn't a girl there, I'd sometimes sleep at the foot of Elvis's bed.
Yeah, because Elvis liked people.
He's a people person, Charlie.
He loved people, Don. That's why he wanted a girl in bed every night.
You're a people person, Charlie.
I love people.
When Elvis wanted a girl, someone would find him one. We called it trolling.
Trolling? I'll be up in a minute, babe.
Elvis would look around and say, it's time to go trolling.
Yeah.
And we knew what that meant. Someone had to go downstairs and select 4 or 5 girls for Elvis to look over. I introduced Elvis to a lot of girls, and members of the entourage introduced him to some.
Don't catch the creepy crud.
It was usually me, because I knew Elvis's taste in women. He liked tall, clean girls.
Sure do.
In one of the Vegas hotels, they'd gather together in a lounge area and sit around on sofas and have soda pop and wait for Elvis.
That's right. They'd drink soda. They wouldn't drink any booze.
When Elvis wanted someone to go trolling, I'd just go down and look them over, and out of the 10, I'd pick out 4 or 5. I told them Elvis Presley wanted to meet them, and I'd ask if they'd like to come up to his suite. It was all pretty cool, but everybody knew what was up.
That's right. Elvis wanted the girls to get in the bed.
That's right, Charlie.
Yes, he did.
There was a whole routine.
Because he liked people.
When I was gone, Elvis would get stuff out to talk to them about. Elvis, music, thank you. Elvis carried books on astrology and numerology and that kind of thing with him.
Yep.
So he could make conversation with girls.
He also had lots of magazines.
Anyway, I'd take the girls upstairs, and there he'd be, all smiley and very gracious. Elvis would make women feel wonderful, Charlie. They'd sit around the suite for a while, and Elvis would look at them over while he talked to them.
That's because Elvis was special, Don.
Then Elvis would let me know which one he wanted to stay.
TCB.
And I would take the other girls downstairs.
All right.
I'd tell the one girl Elvis selected. I'd tell her what Elvis liked and what he didn't like. I'd tell her that if things worked out in a way that she decided she wanted to stay the night, there might be some things she would like to know. I told them Elvis always liked to eat in bed.
Yes, he liked to eat in bed.
So I'd set sort of a table on the bed.
That's why I'd send people out for cheeseburgers.
I'd tell them Elvis always ate and slept in his PJs. And I would leave his pajama tops in the bathroom just for them.
That's right.
I would say Elvis demanded everybody around him be very clean, so they might want to take a shower before they put on their pajamas.
Clean up, ladies. Elvis is ready.
I told them they could order anything they wanted to eat, but Elvis hated the smell of fish.
Yes, he hates fish.
So get whatever they wanted, but stay away from the fish.
Don, they wouldn't get fish sandwiches for Elvis because he hated the smell of fish.
I told them they should always brush their teeth after they ate.
Brush their teeth, especially if you eat fish.
Elvis always did that. And I'd put a brand new toothbrush in the bathroom for them. I'd always take a batch of new toothbrushes on the road with us.
All right.
A big double handful.
All right, I hope. He doesn't even like the toothbrushes to be shaped like fish.
I told them Elvis loved to have his back and shoulders rubbed. That was about it. I'd serve him his food, then I'd leave. The kit went everywhere with Elvis.
No fish in the kit.
And I was the guy designated to take care of it.
The kit's very important, isn't it, Don?
Oh, it is, Charlie.
It really is.
Are you liking the story this year, Charlie?
I love this story this year. You're putting in some new parts.
Charlie, normally I don't read the whole article, but this year, because it's special and you're my special friend,
thank you.
I'm going to read the whole article, even the part about how, at the end, Elvis lost control of some of his bodily functions.
Oh, dear. Elvis lost control of his bodily functions. When did the part about Hamburger James come on?
Pretty quick, Charlie.
Okay.
The kit went everywhere with Elvis, and I was the guy designated to take care of it.
The kit had all of Elvis's stuff in it.
If I went out for a drive, that meant I brought the kit.
Yeah, bring the kit.
Elvis's kit had all kinds of uppers.
Bring the kit in a flash.
Dexedrine, Black Beauties. Then you've got the Class A Percodan, Demerol, Codeine. There were barbiturates.
All of Elvis's drugs.
Toward the end, there was liquid Demerol and needles. Plus, Elvis had money inside the kit. $10,000 in a wallet, makeup, a driver's license, and a lot of jewelry.
Elvis had a lot of stuff in the kit.
Elvis started taking prescription drugs from his mother when he was a young man. Antidepressants and uppers and downers. His mom was always depressed. She was always overweight and taking diet pills, and Elvis just took them from her pill cabinet.
That's right. Elvis liked them because he was curious about the pills that his mom had.
Well, I'm in Elvis's suite one day, and he yells out to me from his bedroom that someone has been in his kit.
Oh, no! Here he comes! It's Hamburger James!
Elvis said some things were missing, some money, and some pictures.
There'll be heck to pay, boys.
We ran all over the place, and the only person we couldn't find
was Hamburger James.
Was Hamburger James.
Hamburger James, you're in trouble now. You went inside the kit.
Charlie?
Yes, Don?
Elvis was more than mad.
Yeah, he was really mad.
He was in a wild rage.
Yeah, he was really mad.
And it spread to everybody. You see, Elvis also had some pictures in the kit. Now, I didn't look at them. I think they were pictures of Priscilla. Hamburger James took some of them, too.
It's a good thing Hamburger James didn't smell like fish.
So Elvis was hot.
You'd really be in trouble.
Man, was he hot.
Yeah.
And everybody's running around looking for Hamburger James.
Where's Hamburger James? Let's get him, boys.
Somebody says, I'll bet Hamburger James is at the airport.
Yeah, because he took money.
We were in Las Vegas at the time. Elvis screams, get the car. And we race out of the hotel and pile into a couple of cars.
They have guns, too. This is my favorite part.
There were 6 or 7 of us, and we're driving like crazy because someone found out that a plane is leaving for Memphis in just a few minutes.
Get Hamburger James. He stole money from the kid and he smells like fish.
We came screeching up to the airport, and everybody piles out.
Get him, boys.
Several people were wearing guns in their shoulder holsters.
Yeah, real guns, too. Oh, no. Hamburger James, you're going to get shot.
Elvis is right there with us.
Yeah.
Everybody's running up to the different counters and jumping up and down to look over the heads of the crowd, trying to find Hamburger James. Everybody in the place is freaking out.
Freaking out.
Women are grabbing their kids and hugging them while these guys with guns run all over the place.
Freak out, boys.
Remember, this was Las Vegas in 1974.
Yeah.
Stars like Elvis are protected in places like Vegas.
Right, they let the stars do whatever they want, Don.
Anyway, it all happened pretty fast. Finally, Charlie.
Silently, Don. You said silently.
Silently, Fun Buddy
Seinfeld
walks up and says he found out the plane from Memphis. He's
Yeah.
leaving at the gate.
Hamburger James is on the plane. He's scared.
So we all run like mad to get up there.
Go get Hamburger James. You win the kid.
The guys are all pounding on the glass, and Elvis runs up to the girl at the gate desk, and Elvis says, "Stop that plane. Stop that plane." She ignores him for a second or two, and then Elvis starts to get a little hysterical.
Yep.
She says, I can't stop the plane. Elvis pulls out a police badge.
Right. Elvis used to pretend he was a policeman.
One of the many he'd been given over the years.
Nixon gave him some police badges.
He flashed it at her and he said, "I'm a federal officer."
Yeah. Stop that plane. I'm a federal officer.
I said, "Stop that plane." Then the lady sees it's Elvis Presley, and she goes all buttery.
Yeah, buttery. That means she cries.
And she starts whimpering something like, "Oh, it's you."
That's right. It's Elvis, the king of rock and roll.
"Can I have your autograph?" "Oh, Elvis." And he's yelling, "Stop that plane. I'm a federal officer. I'll tell you, I want that plane stopped right now."
I bet Elvis will give her the autograph if she lets Elvis on the plane to get Hamburger James and winning the kid and smells like fish.
She's looking at him sort of funny, and he's looking at her both mad and confused and kind of flattered all at once.
Yeah.
I never did understand why. But the plane stopped and pulled back up to the gate.
It's a miracle! It's a miracle!
They opened the door.
The plane's coming back! Hamburger James is in trouble now.
And Elvis's bodyguards ran down the aisles, and there in the back
Yeah, there he is.
was old Hamburger James, all huddled down and hiding.
Peekaboo! Peekaboo! I see you, Hamburger James.
Charlie?
Yes, Don!
They dragged him right up the aisle.
Yeah, he was kicking and screaming.
Out of the plane and out of the airport.
Crying like a baby.
Hamburger James was wailing and crying and trying to get away.
Time to TCB, baby.
Some of the guys were punching him every once in a while.
Yeah, well, he went in the kid. I'd punch him, too.
To get him to be quiet.
Punch him. Shut up, Hamburger James.
I'm sure Hamburger James thought that we were going to take him out in the desert and dig him a grave.
That's what they might have done.
We raced back to the hotel, and Elvis's people dragged Hamburger James into the elevator.
They dragged him. He didn't want to go because they thought they were going to kill him.
They take him up to Elvis's suite, and they throw him on the couch.
Throw him on the couch, boys.
Elvis walks up, and the crowd of people parts.
Yeah, this is the best part.
Hamburger James is sobbing like crazy and scared to death, Charlie.
He's such a baby, Hamburger James, but he went in the kit.
Elvis walks up in front of him. Then Elvis leans down
Yep.
and picks up a big, heavy coffee table.
Oh, you're in for it now, Hamburger James. Elvis is gonna throw. He's gonna throw the cocktail table on you.
He doesn't say anything.
No.
He's dead quiet. I'm thinking, oh no, Elvis is going to murder him.
Gonna murder him with a cocktail table.
He's going to smash him on the head with that table. How are we ever going to talk our way out of this?
Because Hamburger James went in the kit.
But Elvis puts the table down to one side.
Yes, he does.
Then he walks up to Hamburger James and he looks at him real cold and quiet.
Right.
Then Elvis reaches over while Hamburger James is looking straight at him, scared to death, and Elvis slaps him twice.
Yeah.
Like in the movies. A slap and then a backhand.
Yep.
Pow! Then pow again, Elvis slaps him.
Elvis slapped Hamburger James right across the face.
And Charlie?
Yes?
Then the most amazing thing happened.
This is the Christmas miracle, Don. This is a Christmas miracle.
Hamburger James got a funny look on his face and wilted up like a baby.
He cried and cried and cried.
He cried and cried.
Cried and cried.
Like his heart was broken.
It was broken because he was so sad that he went in the kit.
He said he was sorry he stole. He's sorry he stole. He's sorry he stole.
Sorry he stole.
And he would give it all back.
That's right, he'd give Elvis the money back.
He knew he had done something that Elvis could never forgive him for.
Elvis is sad, too.
Elvis looked at him for a moment. And then Elvis broke down and started crying, too.
Elvis cried like a baby because he loved Hamburger James.
He just sobbed and sobbed.
Isn't that sad?
He went down on his knees in front of Hamburger James and said he was sorry. He kept saying to him, Hamburger James, why didn't you let me know if you needed money?
If you needed money, you should have come to Elvis. Elvis is the king of all, man. Come to Elvis, he'll give you money, Hamburger James.
Why didn't you let me know if you wanted to go back to Memphis? I would have given you money. You don't have to steal from me.
That's right. Take care of business, baby.
They cried and cried like that for a long time.
That's because they really liked each other.
And Elvis kept telling Hamburger James he didn't have to leave.
That's right.
He could keep his job and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But Hamburger James wanted to go.
He wanted to leave because he was so embarrassed.
So Elvis gave him a few weeks' salary.
Yeah, that's how nice Elvis was.
And somebody took him back to the airport. Elvis wanted to be a tough guy, but he couldn't really.
Oh, this is the good part. Is this where Elvis loses control of his bowels?
This is the last part of the story now, Charlie.
Okay.
Elvis always seemed to care. He seemed to care about people.
Merry Christmas, though.
His acts of generosity towards strangers were something else.
Yeah, he was a very generous sort.
Drugs. Drugs were everywhere in Elvis's life.
That was Elvis's downfall.
In the latter part of his life, they started taking complete control. When he'd fall out of bed in the morning...
Elvis fell out of bed again. Get him, boys.
There was when Elvis would fall out of bed in the morning, there was a handful of uppers and he'd chase it down with coffee.
Yeah, they were always in the kid. Elvis had lots of drugs.
I'd have to order 3 breakfasts because Elvis would get so out of it on those uppers, he'd be rattling and talking and his food would get cold.
Yeah, and he doesn't like cold food.
About halfway into the meal, I'd have to have another one sitting there ready.
Yep.
Elvis would get wired like that, and they'd give him Valium or something like that later in the day to take the edge off.
Yeah, he had drugs to bring him up and drugs to bring him down.
Before he went on stage, the doctors would give him uppers. Then when he came off stage, they'd give him downers.
Yep.
And then they'd give him something else to go to sleep.
Don, wasn't Elvis very messed up because of that?
Charlie, that's right. That's part of the moral that you don't take drugs like Elvis Presley, right, Charlie?
That's stupid. That's right.
Sometimes, Charlie, Elvis would get so out of it. During a meal, he'd be sitting there and he'd be nodding off. And you'd have to watch him because he might get a piece of hamburger meat hung in his throat.
That's very dangerous because Elvis was so messed up that he'd choke on his own hamburger, but not Hamburger James.
On more than one occasion, I had to go in when Elvis was choking in bed and reach down his throat and pull stuff out.
That's right. I hope he had small hands.
I had to pound on his chest.
Yeah.
His health was practically ruined by his lifestyle.
Of course it was.
Elvis had real bad eating habits. Everybody was always trying to get him to lose weight, but they had to be careful about making suggestions or he'd get mad.
He'd get very angry because he had a big, big ego.
So they'd do it indirectly, like making sure he'd be within earshot when they'd say something to somebody else like, I had a friend who lost a lot of weight eating yogurt.
That's right, and he didn't take drugs, Elvis.
So maybe later Elvis would start eating yogurt.
Listen up, Elvis.
He'd get those little containers of yogurt and fruit, but it didn't work. It didn't work because Elvis would eat 30 of them at a time.
That won't work, Elvis. That's too much. You're going to get fat.
And he kept doing his drugs. The same thing, Charlie, happened with peaches.
Peaches?
Elvis got on a peach craze, and he'd eat peaches all day and all night.
That's not going to help you if you still take drugs, Elvis. All the peaches in the world won't help you.
I would find the peach pits everywhere.
Oh, man, that's disgusting.
Sometimes Elvis would just spit them out and throw them on the floor. Here's the last part of the story, Charlie.
All right.
Elvis got to be 250 pounds.
Big boy, Elvis.
It had gotten to the point we would have to take giant spools of saran wrap, giant ones, and wrap it around his stomach to hold his stomach in.
That's right, so he could do all his Elvis moves.
At night, we would have to wrap Elvis in sheets as a giant diaper because he couldn't control his bowels or his bladder.
No, he couldn't. No, he couldn't because Elvis was very messed up.
The saran wrap made it almost impossible for him to breathe.
Yeah.
In the latter part of his life, he was not hitting many notes.
No.
He was just mouthing them.
Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Going through the motions.
I did it my way.
As for my stepfather,
Vernon,
when Elvis died, that was pretty much the end of our relationship. I was asked to leave the mansion.
Yeah, get out of Graceland.
We don't need you anymore. That's what Vernon said. He gave me 2 weeks' notice. I'd been making $300 a week, but I hadn't saved anything. I tried to get a job. I worked briefly as a waiter, but nobody seemed to relish my resume.
Yeah.
When Elvis died, it was over for me. I had a little car he'd given me. I went over to a couple of my buddies' house. I slept on their floor. and thought of ways of ending it all.
That's right. Well, you should have told Elvis not to take the drugs and not to take the drugs and the kid.
And that, Charlie,
Merry Christmas.
is the reading, the annual reading of the Hamburger James story. Now, as always, Charlie, I want to ask you a couple of questions.
All right.
This is what we call reading comprehension. Charlie, tell me, what did you learn? What is the moral you learned from the Hamburger James story?
If you're going to go to work for Elvis, don't go in the kid and don't smell like fish.
And to all, a good night.
Thank you, Don. That was the best ever.
Charlie, I think it was the best ever this year, too.
Next year, I'm going to bring hot cocoa. I won't drink it during that last part, though.
Okay, that's a good idea, Charlie.
All right, Don.
Charlie, you have a great holiday.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. God blesses everyone, and don't go in the kid.
And you tell your sister Charlene I said she's beautiful, and I want her to have a happy holiday, too.
All right.
All right, Charlie.
Merry Christmas, everyone. TCB.
Bye, Charlie.
There he goes.
Well, there you go, folks. You happy now?
What a beautiful story.
The annual reading of the Hamburger James story.
Man, and folks think that It's a Wonderful Life is the Christmas classic.
Ah, blow off. Hey, Jimmy Stewart, blow off. Stand in line. Hamburger James, he's the man.
That was beautiful.
If he can't steal it, no one can. And we will try to call the real life Hamburger James when we come right back.
Howard Stern all morning, Don and Mike all afternoon, and G.
And I usually let people say what they want for a long time until they get ridiculously interruptive here. And I usually let people say what they want for a long time until they get ridiculously interruptive here. So if you think that's a violation of your free speech, that I kick you out of the chat room, then go write a complaint about it and take me to court. And I'll sue you for every last dime you're worth. And I'll win.
What's going on, folks? How's everybody doing out there? I hope you guys are doing pretty good. What a rough day we had this week. We got Bitcoins crashing. All the cryptocurrencies crashing. The market was manipulated all week, folks. Got the Bitcoin down crashing. Anyway, folks, we're out here. Let's go talk about the news unit. The news unit. The guy with his bipolar disorder. Boy, that guy got bipolar, folks. That news unit, for some reason, he doesn't understand his disease. He's not looking at it. He's not taking any treatment. He's not taking no one's advice. Matter of fact, he doesn't take nobody's advice. He's out there deleting folks. He's deleting his own subs that followed him for many years. He's out there banning these people from his channels now because his subs have been following for many years is giving them some kind of advice. Saying, hey, news unit, Dave, what's going on with your channel? Why's your channel, not exciting anymore? And as soon as you mentioned it, the news unit channel anymore. It's not exciting anymore. He decides to ban you. As soon as you mentioned it, like Silver Goldman does. Or anymore. Like Silver Goldman did. Silver Goldman's no longer here on YouTube Network. But now Dave's playing the role of Silver Goldman, banning people from his channels if you say something negative about his channel or about how he does things at his channel. And you'll be no longer to comment on his live stream, because that's Dave's the news unit's bipolar. The guy is bipolar. And for some reason, you know, that's the way he's pulling things off before 2019 hits. I can imagine
hot cocoa? What, baby? How do you make hot cocoa? Hot cocoa?
This is the reality show, ladies and gentlemen.
And basically, you can see right now he's not doing much on his live stream. He's filming other people's YouTube channels. You can see right there. He's filming other people's YouTube content on his channels. Probably trying to get his numbers up because he only has 8 watching right here. 8 watching. That's it. And you can see on his live chat right here, Punch Turd, he's I don't know who this guy is, but I don't like him for some apparently reason. He's probably blocking me. Not talking much here. See Punchbowl again. Punchbowl's doing most of the talking, it looks like. Dord. Yeah, it looks like it's only 3 people that's basically talking. So there's 3 people actually watching because they're chatting here. And the other 4 people are probably got to click off the news unit. But there you go, guys. That's all he has. He only has 8 watching now. The numbers just jumped up to 9. So this guy, this bipolar guy, he's no good. He does not know what he's doing. He's just out there live streaming for the fun of it. He's out there live streaming. It doesn't say anything. It's like yesterday he was live streaming.
Oh, let's warm this rig up, man. I like the fucker. Here, let's check the box.
And the guy was at the bar and he's live streaming, and the only thing you do is hear him talk, and his
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Solid. Cite your sources.
I don't need to.
Yeah, see,
you
that's the issue.
supposedly know the word so much. You should know that I'm speaking the word.
Ever since grade 5, I learned in my library class, you have to cite your sources, jackass.
Thus saith the Lord is all I really got to say. I don't have to say 1 Corinthians or 2 Corinthians or anything. I can just say, thus saith the Lord.
All right. You say whatever you want to say, man.
I could actually do that and not be mishandling the word of God. Because
again, it goes. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
It comes down to what the gospel is, and anybody who understands it can teach it. And I don't think we have agreement. I don't think we have agreement here about what it is.
Also, they hear without a preacher. So who's qualified then? You know, you have to be ordained in the PCA.
No, it's just anybody who understands the gospel. It's just there's not agreement. There's not an agreement about what the gospel is.
Oh, but I'll tell you what. Here's what we'll do. Here's what we really need to do. We need to go to the sources. We need to have women teach us. So let's skip Pastor Chris here for a second, and let's go to Pastor Michelle, because she can teach us.
You know your queen's birthday, but not your spouse's. I don't have a spouse, and I don't have my queen's birthday.
Everything burns. Everything burns if you want it. I have unlimited data now. I know it's only 480p. I'm going to get my other phone working. 1 second. Let me do my acting. I need text now. I need to be entertaining.
Gleaming down through the gates, watch the night suffocate all the lights and smothers the sun. I can tell by the moon you'll be joining me soon as a guest in my fortress. Gleaming down through the gates, watch the night suffocate all the lights and smothers the sun. I can tell by the moon you'll be joining me soon as a guest in my fortress of fun. And I can't wait to see you and once again free you, release from your human.
Everything burns. Everything burns if you want it. I have unlimited data now. I know it's only 480p. I'm going to get my other phone working. 1 second. Let me get my acting. Let me do my act. I need text now. I need to be entertaining.
Cleaning down the gates, watch the night suffocate all the lights and smothers the sun. I can tell by the moon you'll be joining me soon as a guest in my fortress of fun. And I can't wait to see you and once again free you, release from your humorless hair. Someday I will replace that big frown on your face with a smile and a murderous glare. We are two of a kind, violent, unsound of mind. You're into my yang, can't you see? And if I were to leave you a crumbling grief-facing bats, you'd be lost without me. You'd be lost. You'd be lost. Facing bats, you'd be lost without me. I'm just trying to show you just how well I know you. I understand just how you feel. Through your reason, no way, 'cause you had one bad day. And your mind let go of the wheel. Still we're fated to battle. You pout and I prattle. Don't you ever tire of this game. But you not make it in, 'cause I'm your only friend. We are opposites, but we're the same. We are two of a kind, violent, unsound of mind. You're the yin to my yang, can't you see? And if I were to leave you a grumble and three-facing bats, you'd be lost without me. You'd be lost. You'd be lost. Facing bats, you'd be lost without me. We have so many wonderful stories. I have studied the mind of this bat. A hero with no place for glory. Just his cape and his cave and his... We are two of a kind, violent, unsound of mind. You're the yin to my yang, can't you see? And if I were to leave you a grumble and three-facing bats, you'd be lost without me. You'd be lost. You'd be lost. Facing bats, you'd be lost without me. Fantastic! Anyone wants to dig down from the gates, watch the night suffocate all the lights and smothers the sun. I can tell by the moon you'll be joining me soon as a guest in my fortress of fun. And I can't wait to see you once again free you, release from your humorless hair. Someday I will replace that big frown on your face with a smile and a murderous glare. We are two of a kind, violent, unsound of mind. You're yin to my yang, can't you see? And if I were to leave you a crumble and green-facing bats, you'd be lost without me. You'd be lost. You'd be lost. Facing bats, you'd be lost without me. I'm just trying to show you just how well I know you. I understand just how you feel. From your reason away, cause you had one bad day and your mind let go. Still we're fated to battle you. I tried so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream. Yet you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme. A memory from your lonesome past keeps us so far apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Another crime before my time made your heart sad and blue. And so now you make me pay for things I didn't do. In anger, unkind words are said that make the teardrops start. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? You'll never know.
I lost it because I'm swimming in my pool with a stupid little costume on. Okay, sure. Jesus, you guys are no fun, bro. You can't fucking even take acting. You think it's all real. It's just fucking acting. I've been acting my whole life, man. It's not a big deal. This costume can handle the water, too. I'm just swimming in my pool, man. What? Well, I was trying to float around in this costume, but then I fell into the water. So now I'm just swimming. No. I'm just listening to music. Costume.